there are a lot of different points of view, you know, and not just from within Ethiopia, but from the diaspora as well. And so, you know, we try to have that to be a place of constructive discussion. And sometimes we wonder if we're striking the right balance, because sometimes people say things that are very, not only difficult, but maybe wrong, or factually incorrect. And we don't necessarily want to promote incorrect information, but we also want to invite sharing of information. So for us, it's a difficult balance to strike, and it's sometimes very helpful to get perspectives like you on how that balance is being struck.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
okay, you have a question. Yep.
My name is Hassan, and thank you so much for this house, Mr. Ambassador. And I'd like to say today I'm so happy for you came to this our school, and you see the students in here. But today we want to ask you what we need and what the students didn't need. That we need a church. I mean chair. I'm sorry, chair. Yeah. And we asking them the first time they come here, officially or us, and junior and senior students, they ask them. But today you come here, they want to ask you again. You need help. You need help. Our school, you need your American help. And thank you so much. You need a chair. That's it, chair.
So what I'm hearing is that you need a chair. Okay, well that's actually very helpful to know, and I think we will absolutely look at that. You know, I think that's not too much to ask, I don't think. So we will see what we can do.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Any question from the galleries?
Yes, please.
Gender equality. Galleries?
My question is about just how is your idea about gender equality, or just how you look gender equality in your country, America?
Thank you. So the question was my thoughts on gender equality and how gender equality works in the United States. I will tell you that to answer your first question very simply, I think absolute gender equality is absolutely essential. I think that no country will get ahead if half of its population does not have every opportunity to succeed. So for me, gender equality is important not only for the women and the girls of Ethiopia, but for the boys and the men of Ethiopia, and for the advancement of the country of Ethiopia. So it's something that I feel very strongly about, and that I don't think is confusing at all. For me, it's a very simple matter. In the United States, gender equality is still a work in progress, as we say. We are still working on gender equality. One of the interesting discussions we're having in the United States right now is all of a sudden a lot of women have come forward to talk about times that they were bothered in their workplaces because they were women. And this is coming as a bit of a surprise to people because we didn't understand the extent of the problem. We thought we had moved past that problem. And now we're being reminded that this is still very much a problem. So this is one area where we know we have more work to do, and we're having a very interesting national dialogue about it. But I think I would simply say to the gentlemen in the room, who have mothers, who have sisters, who will have wives, to think about this, to think about whether these women aren't every bit as capable as you are, as I am, and that they shouldn't have every opportunity to be as successful and as happy as you should have that opportunity to be. So it is an area where I don't think there's any confusion in my own mind. And it's an area where the U.S. government invests a lot of energy. We are working on promoting young people generally, working on promoting their health, their education, their health, their nutrition, their ability to become successful business people. We spend a lot of money on that. But in everything we do, we make sure that women have equal chance to benefit from every program we have. So thank you very much. Please.
What about affirmative action? Like, for example, in Ethiopia we have affirmative action. In America, is there any affirmative action for women?
That is a really good question. Thank you. You're asking wonderful questions. I really appreciate it. Affirmative action is a program where groups that have been traditionally disadvantaged are given temporary advantages to give them a chance to catch up. And one area where we see this a lot in American society is in higher education, in universities, where underrepresented groups like Black Americans or women are given special consideration in the admissions process. So in other words, if two people are the same, maybe the woman or maybe the African American will be given the position instead of the white man, who has always benefited from special treatment in America.
Wow.
So I think it has been an important program to correct injustice in our society. And on a personal level, I think it's a program that we should try to continue. One of the interesting discussions we're having in our society right now is whether the history of affirmative action has been sufficient to bring women up, to bring black Americans up, and whether we need to continue to give these people special consideration. It's a conversation that's still ongoing, but I think it's an important conversation, and for me, I hope there will continue to be a role to play to make sure that people who have been historically underrepresented have a chance to be fully represented.
Well, and to add to that, just within the U.S. government, we have what's called equal employment opportunity, which means that we focus specifically on making sure there are equal opportunities for women and minorities in the U.S. government. And that includes our embassy. And so I serve as the Post-Employment Committee chairperson, and one of the things we do is that we ensure that those principles are upheld. So as the ambassador said, when there's an equal choice, when you have two equally talented people, if one of them is a woman or a minority, we give extra preference to that person in the hiring process. So that's something that filters down to even our hiring of local staff. We look to make sure that our employees from Ethiopia are diverse and represent men and women and different groups as equally as possible.